What do you think of the revolution going on out there, Louis? Any thoughts on the whole Egypt, Libya, Yemen, Tunisia?
That's pretty exciting that people are pouring out on the streets of countries like that, and then guys are having to leave.
Yeah.
I mean, Gaddafi's crazy. He was the guy, he used to come to New York and go to Studio 54 and do coke. He did. He used to fly into New York.
That's fantastic.
He used to be in, like, the New York Post once in a while. Gaddafi was at Studio 54 last night. Like, he was one of those guys. He would have been on nowadays he would have been on TMZ.
TMZ, yeah.
And he doesn't come here anymore, but he used to. No, he's just a guy who gets, much pussy and gets high, and so that was in the 80s.
Yeah.
So he's just been in like a deep, rich guy crazy freeze. Fucking hookers that get killed the next day.
Yeah.
That kind of.
Without an inkling of ever being thrown out either.
No, now he's like, what?
Perked up out of nowhere.
Yeah. There's give me an umbrella. I'll tell them. He's completely lost.
He's obsessed with that umbrella, man.
He loves the umbrella.
What's that about?
Keep sun off of him? I don't know.
But he's got the skin. He can handle a little sun.
I don't know. Didn't a comic once do a whole bit on him, too? It's like he's the head of the place 40 years. He's been ahead of this. Why is he still just a colonel? Like somebody done something. You can make yourself General Gaddafi.
Right.
Why does he insist on just... He's been a colonel for 40 years.
No, he's honest.
That's a great point.
He hasn't
really done anything?
No, he just...
To merit...
no. Not militarily speaking.
How does it end? Suicide or the people take him out?
Well, his rhetoric is quite...
They said he can't go anywhere.
He doesn't really have any country that would care to take him anymore.
No. And a lot of Libya now is all divided. I mean...
well, it's funny that Egypt's... that guy being overthrown... Notice I went and then quit on knowing what the fucking name is.
No,
I think that is totally... nobody gives a shit that Egypt's government doesn't exist now.
Yeah, there isn't one.
Well, they're mad, though, already.
They're getting mad already.
They're going to protest again because they're mad at what, the
cabinet
or something
I don't
set
think
up?
they want the military in charge until September.
Yeah, that's not usually a good result of a revolution.
Is to have the military in charge. It's like, we'll take care of it.
They never had a guy, though.
Yeah.
Usually you have a guy standing by ready to take over.
That's kind of great, though, to me. There wasn't a guy.
Right, of
course. It was
course.
really just the populace.
Right.
We don't like you.
They didn't want it anymore. And actually, they went about it the right way, is that they were nonviolent, basically. They didn't do anything. And so they gave every world leader a platform to say you got to
gang rape a white woman.
Do something.
It's about their only violence.
Well, that goes on all day in Egypt.
They pinched her really
that's
hard.
That's not a big deal.
Pinched her really hard.
The reports are coming in that she got pinched really hard.
Maybe her nipple got pinched.
Maybe.
Something
no,
like
definitely. The sensitive areas, they said, got pinched really hard, and she got beat with flagpoles.
They were calling her
you're talking about something real.
Lara Logan.
Yeah. I didn't know what you were talking about.
The white reporter.
Like, you guys are really getting creative with this weird idea.
No, the white reporter they decided would be just fine in the square with a little security, meaning the camera guy that might have taken a karate class once.
She got
pinched
really hard,
beaten with flags.
All the details,
beaten with those flags they were carrying around the flagpoles.
Sexually assaulted,
pissed on.
She got pinched where?
Bitten on her nipples.
In sensual areas.
And sensitive areas.
Sensitive areas.
Sensual areas. She was,
sorry.
Pinched in sensual areas.
Sensual.
In sensitive areas. So.
Yeah.
But what
some hard nipple tweaks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then they were saying maybe some rape.
Maybe a little rape.
Maybe a little rape. Just a little rape.
And flagpoles.
And flagpoles and beatings.
You can only imagine what happened.
They were yelling Jew, Jew, Jew. Even though she wasn't Jewish.
Right.
They were just yelling.
Confused.
They love yelling Jew when they're beating people over there.
Yeah.
But now some of these other countries like Libya, they think, all right, it worked there. Now let's give it a try here.
Sure.
And we'll make him leave. He's not leaving. He's bombing and shooting his people. So that's a little different take on this whole thing.
Yeah, he's actually strafing the crowds with jets.
Yeah. He's taking jet fighters
Yeah.
and bombing and strafing them.
But a bunch of them, I guess, won't shoot.
Well, they're horrified. A couple went to Malta, was it?
Yeah, a couple.
And then a couple said, you know what? I don't even need this plane anymore. And they just ejected and said,
Right.
fuck this.
Pulled a Maverick.
Right.
Said,
That's
I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
No, I remember that in the first war with Iraq, whichever one that was, I don't remember.
Yeah, whenever that was.
You can ask Rummy.
He'll know.
Yeah,
he'll tell you.
And there was a thing I remember on CNN that a fleet of a squadron of Iraqi jets had taken off.
Yeah.
And that they were going to hit Egypt. And then I saw on the news on some map, they just turned around and went to Syria and landed and asked for college education. That was the end of it. That was the end of the Iraqi Air Force.
The whole Air Force just left.
And they must have gone from, yes, sir, absolutely, we are going to get every one of them. Then once they were in the air, they were like, woo.
Yeah.
Let's turn this thing around.
Let's go to Morocco.
Fuck this. They're going to kill us.
They just landed.
They get our asses handed to us.
Mm-hmm.
That's,
But they're going to get Libya, right? The people will get Libya eventually.
I don't know. No one's
This
really...
is going to be a tough one?
This guy ain't going down. Gaddafi isn't...
but he has nobody... I mean, that's like... Where does power come from?
Yeah, but he's still got enough people shooting at civilians.
Yeah.
Unarmed civilians.
He has a lot of money. He probably has a lot of extra, like, gold bars.
Yeah.
It's going to come down to him giving some pilot a gold bar.
To just drop a fucking napalm on his people. Because he still has enough of that. He's got enough money and enough power.
Well, these guys, the leaders, that's their lives are so weird because they don't care literally about their countries. They just are... No. They're like royalty. They're like old European royalty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't
just
care.
People that live in the palace, and they just eat shit and they make deals with other people.
It must
sap the country's resources. And so the look on his face is like, I don't understand why I'm being asked to defend this. This is just, I'm a despot. What part of that do you not understand?
This is what it is.
I stay till I'm dead. When did this not start not happening?
And then my kid takes over.
Yeah,
how it works.
Exactly. My kid takes over. He's worse because he was raised, at least I fought to get here.
Yeah, he was raised in that.
After me is going to be a kid who was raised in this decrepit, fucked up environment, who's never seen a poor people except for the ones we eat.
Yeah. Always had complete impunity.
Yeah, now it's his turn.
He could just rape and pillage and kill without any consequence. And now he's in charge. Yeah,
amazing. That's the way the world.
I heard rivers of blood. When you hear them, whenever they mention rivers of blood will flow.
That's not good.
Not a good sign for the populace.
No.
This guy says Gaddafi has a house in Jersey. Brian in Philly.
Hey, good morning, Opie, Anthony, Louie.
Bob Gaddafi.
Danny, if you could help us out, I got to see if Gaddafi actually has a house in Jersey. Where's his house?
Too. Inglewood, New Jersey, he owns a property. If you remember...
he pitched his tent in the backyard. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah, when he was at the UN thing last year or the year before, he owns a property in Inglewood, New Jersey. And if things go really bad, he may end up, there. But
you think he'll end up there? Yeah, you think we'll take him in?
Are we going to see him at Jets games next year?
Yeah, he's going to be on the floor at MSG with
next
some popcorn.
To Spike Lee.
Yeah,
there's Muammar Gaddafi
talking to Woody Allen,
just taking in the game
with his weird little beard, sitting next to.
Former murderous dictator Muammar Gaddafi taking in the game. Look at him, big fan, big Knicks fan.
Giving a peace sign for the Jumbotron. What's up?
Yeah.
5 people. Woo!
Yeah. Wearing a Jersey Shore fucking shirt.
This guy used to live next to a Gaddafi or his son or something.
That was your neighbor, Gaddafi.
Well, all these guys have huge families. Like the guy in Egypt, they're the whole thing. And also, by the way, the leader of Afghanistan that we support. They have big families. The whole thing is these clans.
Yeah.
And whoever gets in charge they plug in like fucking ticks and they start sucking the blood of the economies and giving all the money to their
people.
To their people.
Not their people, but to
their
family,
clan.
Yeah.
And everybody who's a Gaddafi, is fucking rich. And then in Libya, meanwhile, Libya's getting grayer and less.
Like a tick.
Fruitful, yeah.
Like what a tick does. And the women are just constantly pregnant, I would assume.
Yeah, they just you keep growing and you send people out into the world and, it's fucked up.
It really is. And to have such a resource, that they have so much fucking oil, Libya, and to have that much money coming in, and the people are just impoverished.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
Well, and even on every level. Like, I once talked to a homeless guy, and Union Square or wherever it was, somewhere in New York. I smoked some marijuana, which I'm not good at. Like, I have to get away from people when I get high.
Really?
I was with some comedians and it was Doug Benson, who's a famous pot smoker. And he gave me some pot, and I was like, okay, well, I'll see you later. Because I can't be around anybody.
I can't smoke this with you.
So I was really high on 14th Street, just standing there, and some guy says, can you give me $1? What is this guy? Weird looking, interesting guy. And I gave him $100 so that he would talk to me. I just didn't want him to ask. It was a big crowded area and he could have been doing better.
Yeah.
So anyway, I asked him about his life, and he told me he's from Pakistan. And he told me his whole life that his father sold him to his uncle when he was like 12 years old. And he was moved to Queens, where he worked in a gas station. And he lived in a basement room of a gas station in Queens.
The basement of a gas station.
And he would just be brought upstairs, and he worked like 17-hour shifts. He just worked until he would fall down. And then they'd go down in the basement, and they'd put a little food in him. And he said he did that for something like 13 years.
God.
And then when he
he
became too old to, once he became not a minor, you can't, then he becomes capable of
filing charges and things like that, right?
So they just toss him out. He said, then I didn't even have the gas station job. And then so he had a few jobs, and now he's homeless. But that's what, it was a family business thing.
Yeah. And then they throw you out. Wow.
Then you're out on your ass.
Brutal.
Let's go to Michael, who lived next to one of the Gaddafis. Michael, what's the story?
Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Louis C.K., by the way, in studio.
Louis, love your work.
Thank you.
Anyway, when I lived in Vienna, Austria in the late 90s, I was in high school over there. And one of his sons, and Louis is 100% right, he's got like 20 brothers and shit. So he's over there and he's studying in university. And you'd think like a dictator's son would kind of have that same mentality. This guy's a complete fucking stoner. Smokes pot constantly. And he would run around and do all this crazy shit around the neighborhood. But even though he was studying over there, he still had diplomatic immunity. His dad sent him over there as, quote, a diplomat. So he used to do all these crazy shit, throw parties. He tried getting a tiger to live in his backyard for a while. It was just
they love that
really,
shit.
Really,
well, and the thing is, that's what his father is.
Yeah.
Right.
He's not, dictators are not shrewd and, really smart. Hitler was like the other thing. These guys are like, Gaddafi's one of 40 sons or whoever his father was. And he was the one who got the gig.
Yeah.
But he's
the Libya
fucking
gig.
wasted all the time. I'm pretty sure Gaddafi is on drugs.
Just fucked up. He looked
all the time.
He looked so fucked up when he was
he
giving
comes
those speeches.
too much. Like, he just came on a teenager's face for the 50th time that day. When we saw him with the umbrella.
Yeah.
He was covered in whatever fucking tiger cum, and he fucking just had jizzed in some way that makes you not want to be in public so much.
Look at him with his umbrella.
Smoked tons of pot. Probably did all that kind of drugs like in Last Lieutenant, whatever that shit that was that he did that made him look so fucking
Bad Lieutenant.
Yeah, in Bad Lieutenant in the morning, how bad he looked in the mornings, like that kind of drugs, those crystal meth drugs that really fuck you up,
completely fuck you up.
And he's doing weird. He shat in some fucking guy's mouth while he came on his mother's
and then
face,
killed everybody that he was involved with
in a couple hours. And and then he woke up and was told, "You're getting thrown." And what?
Get me my umbrella. I gotta talk to these people. Right?
I'm talking. Get me my umbrella.
So, did Michael? You have a point to your call, there, Mike?
What the hell are you talking about?
His son was blah blah school.
Yeah, his son was just kind of eccentric. He was kind of a cool guy.
Cool guy. There you go.
And, he got to do shit.
Well, that diplomatic immunity is pretty great. Yeah. Unless you're in, Afghanistan? Is that where that guy is?
But supposedly some of the bin Ladens are cool people, so.
Hey, possibly. I mean, he was a great guy to hang out with. Fucking looked like some 90s grunge flannel shirts and the long hair and all that stupid shit. So I don't know.
And he was a Gaddafi. It's pretty odd.
No, I mean Osama bin Laden. He's got.
He's got family that was living here.
Living and going to school in Boston. And, and we got calls back then. Oh, man, I knew that guy. He was cool. He had to leave school very quickly.
Yeah. You got to have, like, the bad guy in your family.
Yeah, I guess. It's weird, though.
Oh, is that, who is that? Bin Laden's what? Niece? Yeah, she was trying to get a modeling career going.
Yeah.
Kind of, I think people are a little put off.
Yeah, it's really tough.
Kind of hard to really...
Tough to hire for a modeling gig. I don't care how hot you think she is.
You're just like,
who's going to be the brave guy to do that?
Ginger bin Laden. It's not really
yeah.
Right.
And it's like, but, she's the niece of the guy, the towers and...
Oh,
well...
that tower thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if we really want to make her represent our new fashion line that's coming out.
Right. Well, look, Louis got a sandwich in front of him. Why don't we take a quick break?
Fine by me.